Hey, Cheyenne Country's at the world-famous Nashville Palace with Cody McCarver. You know this guy, Confederate Railroad.
Yeah.
What a group. That was your group.
Well, I was part of the band,
Yeah.
Confederate Railroad for a long time. And in 2010, but I left Confederate Railroad.
And now doing your own thing. Kind of tell us how you got to that point. I've got a little surprise here for you because I
Okay.
heard that you performed with a legend in country music named Lynn Anderson.
Oh, is that
this is
Lynn?
Lynn's hat, yes,
Really?
that I have in my possession from her daughter, Lisa.
Yeah?
She was the queen of bling, cowboy hats and boots.
Yeah, I guess my first paying gig, my first gig was playing in a piano in his church when I was 9 years old. Then my first paying gig was I went to work for Lynn Anderson.
And you played bass guitar for her?
Mm-hmm. And I was her road manager.
Wow.
And I had never been on the road and never been on an airplane. And our first gig that I did with her was, I never will forget, was the Dallas Fan Jam. Went to Dallas, Texas and played a show down there. And then the next gig we went to Europe. And I had never been on a plane. And I remember we got to the airport out here in Nashville to get on the plane, and she looked at me and she said, "Hey Pup, make sure all this stuff's checked." She called me Pup. And she said, "Make sure all this stuff's checked." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And I didn't know what that meant. And I found this guy at the airport, I never will forget it. I said, "Hey, look, man, I got this new gig. I'm playing bass for this country singer named Lynn Anderson. And she wants me to check these, I don't know." And he laughed and he said, "I'll help you." And he helped me and walked me through everything, and she never knew that I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, and she's one of the biggest stars at the time,
yeah.
with Rose Garden and everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
then when we got to Europe, man, I mean, this was like the early 90s, okay? And then when we got to Europe, we were working with Charlie Daniels. And we did the first night we did was in Austria, and we did a show with Charlie Daniels, and I was like, man, that's Charlie Daniels. I want to get to see Charlie Daniels, but he opened the show for her, and she came out, and it was like Elvis Presley walked on stage. People just worshiped that woman over there. It was unbelievable. And it was one of the greatest. She took me on the Ralph Emery show, let me sing a duet with her on there. Let me stay in her pool house, gave me a Porsche to drive. I could tell you some stories. It's amazing, but yeah, that was my first real gig.
Fast track to fame.
No, I wasn't fast, but it was.
Seemed like it.
It was fun.
Definitely.